Hi everyone, this is Justin from the marketing team of TomoChain Lab. Today I'm very honored to be hosting this AM session. It's about TomoMasterDAOs IDO launch on LuaStarter. That is going to kick off in just 2 days. We are all very excited for that. So today I'm very glad to be having Nguyen, the product manager of LuaStarter, and Lak, the product manager of TomoMasterDAO. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and LuaStarter and TomoMasterDAO, the products you are in charge of?
Hi everyone, my name is Nguyen, product manager at LuaStarter, the multi-chain IDO launchpad available on LuaSwap, the multi-chain liquidity and exchange protocol. At LuaStarter, we support both Ethereum, TomoChain, and next is Binance Smart Chain product. And I'm really happy to welcome TomoMasterDAO, the decentralized autonomous organization product that will be the very first product launched on LuaStarter. Thank you, Lak.
Great, thanks, Simon.
So Lak, could you tell us a bit about yourself and TomoMasterDAO as well?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Lak. I'm the product manager at TomoMasterDAO. TomoMasterDAO is a governance platform on the TomoChain network that is going to be giving out grants for up-and-coming projects. So if you're a project that is interested in applying for funding, you can apply through TomoMasterDAO, and then it's the public will actually decide whether that project gets funding or not. So we want to get the community's involvement in developing and building on the TomoChain network.
Okay, excellent. Thank you guys for the intro. So just for our audience, if you are watching this video live, Lak and Nguyen will also be answering your questions on the live chat on YouTube. So feel free to say hi to them and drop your questions if you have anything in your mind. So next, we're gonna move to the community questions that are selected from our Twitter users. So the first question is, what is the tDAO's plan to involve the community in the proposal and voting? And the most important thing in tDAO is decentralization. What are tDAO's plan to be sufficiently decentralized, in your opinion?
Very interesting question. So I think with DAOs in general, it kind of goes to the core philosophy of what we're trying to do with blockchain in general. And that is take the power back from sort of large organizations and then give that to the people and let them decide and control what's, the direction of things that they should be going. So with tDAO, we've tried to make an effort to balance decentralization with security and also ease of use here as well. So with that, we have two kind of different areas. One is the board, so the TomoMasterDAO board, and then you'll actually have the proposals and then the community surrounding that. So with the TomoMasterDAO board, because of the nature of our project here is we're giving out funding for exciting projects, we're not necessarily making changes to the core protocol of TomoChain here. So we decided to go with an off-chain voting system using the snapshot platform. And we have a board that vets our proposals before they hit the market, so before they go out onto the governance platform. The purpose of this board is to vet the team that's applying, and then we also have to make sure the proposal is related to TomoChain, and then also assess the amount of funding that the project has requested here. So it takes a little bit of research, and we don't necessarily expect the public to do this. So this is why we kind of have this first little step beforehand. And the board is made up of 3 internal TomoChain members, and then we also have 4 external members. The way we structured it that way was just to ensure that we at TomoChain Lab don't have the full say over what it is. And we will have that 4 external members chosen by the community. So applications are currently open, so if you're interested, you should think about applying. And then the shortlisted individuals will be put up for a community vote.
Okay, great. So now can you maybe explain to our users about how they can actually participate in the IDOs on LuaStarter, and also what are the some of the criteria that for selecting good project to be listed on LuaStarter as well?
Yeah, that is very important question because for everyone want to go to our platform, the Launchpad, to participate in any public sale, they need to know the requirement how to participate, and I can tell you like every single step. The first thing we try to reward both TomoChain and LuaSwap holder. That's why we have the tier requirement for staking Lua in LuaSafe and holding liquidity pool for Lua and Tomo. So by that we reward both Lua and Tomo holder. And the very important point, we support both Ethereum and TomoChain, which means that now people have the very efficient to manage their own asset. They don't need to swap the asset back and forth between Ethereum and TomoChain. They can just keep it on both chain and still have the right to buy the token. And the advantages competitive of this model is the tier granted system, which means that every people that meet the requirement for tier classification, now they are granted to buy the token launched on LuaStarter. And one more thing, either you by somehow you miss the chance to stake Lua before some deadline, you still have some maybe lucky allocation in tier 0, so we call it like the community allocation, very small amount, but you still have the chance to buy it. So it's quite flexible for anyone who possibly missed any chance. For the detailed requirement, we require to stake Lua and hold Lua and Tomo liquidity pool both on TomoChain and Ethereum at least 7 days before the ideal date, which will be public and announced on our media. So please pay attention to that. Even we mentioned 7 days before the ideal, but the snapshot will take any time between the ideal time and 7-day requirement. So pay attention for the timeline, and just make to be at the safe side. I just recommend you to stake Lua long time before ideal. And after TomoDAO, we still have some other upcoming pool and project. So even you can stake and hold the liquidity pool from now should be give you very guaranteed allocation for the upcoming project. For tDAO, currently we already take the snapshot and already allocate to the pool. So anyone who just make it, let's try to follow up for the next information for any other liquidity from tDAO and Tomo and other rewarding plan that we can explain later.
Okay, thank you Nam for the explanation, and also we'll also put the tutorial link in the description box below as well. So the next question is for TomoMasterDAO. So what makes TomoMasterDAO different from other DAOs?
Okay, yeah, thanks for the question. Yeah. So with TomoMasterDAO, we're trying to take a slightly different approach to the DAO. So we have a system in place where a lot of other DAOs, they will often focus on changing things from the protocol. There is, room in some of these treasuries to assign funds for interesting projects, but TomoMasterDAO's core focus is to fund projects. So that's kind of the take that we're giving out here. We're also implementing in our governance model, we have a reward system. So because we're using the snapshot voting system, it's an off-chain system, and it works by you have tDAO in your wallet and you sign into the governance platform with that, and you can cast a vote just by signing a message. So it doesn't cost you anything, it doesn't cost you don't have to transfer tokens, you don't have to stake, and it's gasless as well. But we're also offering incentives for rewards. So there will be a reward pool based on the size of the proposal, and each voting member will split that pool evenly. Doesn't matter if you have 10,000 tDAO or 1,000 tDAO, your share of the rewards will be the same, because we want to try and encourage just the everyday user to participate. This is going to be an excellent place for users to find new technologies as they're being created, hidden gems as they're being built. And we want not just the big users to influence and have influence over these votes. We want everyone to play a part in this.
Okay, great. So the next question is for LuaStarter. Is for Nguyen. Will LuaStarter provide a timetable for the upcoming IDO projects? And also for TomoMasterDAO, will there be a staking function of the DAO tokens? I think that's for both of you.
Yes.
Now it's you.
Yeah, I think I will separate into answer. The first thing will be the timetable for any upcoming project. Definitely we will build that for LuaStarter calendar. However, for now, some of project not really confirmed the date yet, so just try to pay attention to any update on our media, the official media. Whenever we have announcement, we will update the timetable, so you can look at both the timetable and the announcement and try to pay attention to some critical time like staking requirement, the IDO date, the IDO time, the claiming time of the token. So try to pay attention to that, and we will definitely build the timetable for all the confirmed project run on LuaStarter. For now, I can give the sneak announcement that we have some project at the end of October and early of November. So you can keep and remain stake Lua on LuaSafe and hold the liquidity pool from now. I think it can be rewarded for you. For the second question, so after the tDAO IDO on our platform, we will have the liquidity pool created on LuaSwap on TomoChain. So we will create a pool tDAO between tDAO and Tomo, and we will have huge reward, will be the dual reward to the whole community, but we will make announcement soon for the detailed information. So let's try and wait for that. So the main thing on LuaSwap, we have the reward for the liquidity pool between tDAO and Tomo, and for the other reward for the tDAO holder, I think Lakrisen explains later because it related more on the tDAO community. But definitely we have the reward that I already discussed with Lak for very huge reward, and I think it can run for quite a long time. So try to participate, so you will have the voting power from tDAO, and you also have the reward on adding liquidity on LuaSwap.
Yeah, there's just something I'll add to that as well. If you do provide liquidity on LuaSwap, you will still be able to vote as well. So you have the option of earning rewards, and we are going to have a very generous farming reward scheme for the first few months of it up and running. So make sure you check that out on LuaSwap. We'll be announcing details of that very soon. And yeah, so then you kind of have this system here where you can vote, earn rewards through the actual proposals. Then there will be liquidity rewards as well through LuaSwap. We don't have any staking just yet. That is maybe something we'll consider in the future. But for now, I think the rewards incentives that we have, I think will be more than enough to get users to jump on board.
Very, very interesting. So the next question will be for TomoMasterDAOs. What is the TomoMasterDAOs roadmap is gonna be like? What is gonna happen after the IDO is over on LuaStarter?
So straight after the IDO, what you'll see is there's going to be a liquidity pair launched on LuaSwap, and like I discussed earlier, there's going to be some generous farming rewards. So that's going to be kind of the first step that happens. So if you did miss out on the IDO, that's going to be a really great spot to actually buy some on the market. Then coming on from there, you'll find that we are going to do a community airdrop. So we're going to do an airdrop to masternodes and stakers of those masternodes. And then there might be some small community incentives that we might give to new users. So if you haven't bought, if you've missed out on staking or on running masternodes, you might be able to get just a small number of tokens to kind of get you into the system. Following that, we're going to have our board member election. So applications close on the 19th of October. And then from there, we're going to pick our shortlisted candidates, and then that will go up for a community vote. So From there, you'll start seeing our first proposals in towards the end of the year. And then we've got some pretty exciting things coming up for next year. In particular, we have a bounties program. And that bounties program will involve community. So at the moment, with projects applying for funding, what will happen is they will submit that to the board. So no tDAO is actually required for you to submit a proposal at all. And then the board assesses that and then it goes to the people. We're going to run these bounty grant rounds. So developer bounties are sort of open. It will be a certain amount of money for a developer or a team to create a product or to solve a problem, even can be to do with data collection, that sort of thing. What we're going to do is we're going to open up a round of bounties, but then this round of bounties will actually come from the users themselves. So they'll be able to propose, so they'll have to use their tDAO to do this. It doesn't cost anything, but you need a minimum amount. And then you can propose a bounty that you'd like to see solved. And then the most popular bounties will be chosen, and then there's going to be some pretty interesting rewards that we're going to give out to those top users.
Excellent. So the last question that I've selected from our Twitter user is that what's the meaning of TomoMasterDAO and LuaStarter's combination and this collaboration? What does this mean to our community or to the whole ecosystem of TomoChain?
I think I will start first, and Lakrisen adds some more information. So we build the whole ecosystem like LuaSwap, and then the next product will be the LuaStarter. And the main meaning is that we build a platform that reward all TomoChain and LuaSwap holder, that you can have the chance to approach to the project that we already do due diligence quite carefully before we bring to our platform. That means that all the TomoChain and LuaSwap holder, they have the right to buy the token in early stage like public sale, and the combination of LuaStarter and TomoMasterDAO is that is another product that built on TomoChain, and we have the priority to for any people, any project, any product that plan to build on TomoChain. So that also reward to all the holder one more time. And one of the meaning to me is that we hear on about DeFi, we hear about GameFi, and actually DAO is the very not really new, but not so many product now they build the DAO product, the decentralized autonomous organization, and giving the power to the whole community. So now we build another product that give additional power to the community. Now you can vote on funding, other thing else, and that is the quite good combination between LuaStarter and TomoDAO. That's why I give the very high priority to Lak and the team to build the TomoMasterDAO that will be launched very shortly.
Great. And I think from the TomoMasterDAO end of things, LuaStarter is a really great place to launch our token. Because LuaStarter does have this tier guaranteed system, it means that smaller investors are not going to be priced out of the market. Because there is an upper limit in the tier system, it means that the whales can't necessarily just buy all of the tokens in the IDO. So they will still get a decent allocation, but as long as you have the minimum amount staked, you are guaranteed getting some in the pool. So I think it really offers people that are maybe newer to the DAO system or newer to governance or even new in the crypto space. I think it gives them a good chance to have a guaranteed spot at the table.
Yep. Cool. And also I would like to share my personal take on this topic as well from TomoChain's perspective. I think both TomoMasterDAO and LuaStarter are made to help emerging projects to develop and to build on top of TomoChain in terms of fundraising and building up liquidity and creating awareness. So I think by launching these two projects, TomoMasterDAO and LuaStarter at the same time together, I think we would be accelerating the onboarding of new projects onto the TomoChain ecosystem. and further expanding our ecosystem as a whole. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I think I'll add to that point there as well. Like one of TomoMasterDAO's like key points is to accelerate the onboarding, right? So to the TomoChain ecosystem. With what we're doing, we're just giving these projects a helping hand in developing on the ecosystem. You know, we have grants decided by the public, but it also makes the public aware of those developments that are happening because they are the ones that decided. Exactly. They can pick and choose the technologies they would like to see, and then we're going to have TomoChain move towards this. It's going to be well decentralized because it's the public that is the one that chooses what is going to happen on it. So
interesting. Yeah.
So now the power is on the whole community, right? So that is very meaningful for the whole community, and we are happy to build that kind of product to support the community.
Right, exactly. Okay, so that's all the questions from our Twitter community, and there is an open topic for discussion, that is what makes a good DAO system. Here are some of the answers provided by our community members. So the first user argued that for a tDAO to be effective, the first thing is that is needed is to have a set of rules and regulations that regulate how the platform will work. And we have another user saying that the token allocation is the most important, and a decentralized allocation leads to a sound system. And another user argued that minimum needed tDAO to propose the proposal should be affordable for retail investors. What do you think about these different opinions on how like what makes a good DAO system, and what is your take on this topic?
Okay, I'll go first. So there's one pop topic that you pointed out there quite at the end. It has to be affordable for users to be able to create proposals. So if you look at Uniswap's governance system or even Compound's governance system, they have an on-chain voting system, and then a lot of these require 1% of the supply to be able to propose a vote, right? That is an insanely high amount of money, exactly. Right? That is not for a retail investor. Those are for extremely large investors. So if you're in the community and you have concerns about the way things are, it's virtually impossible for you to, get 1% of that total supply or 0.5% of the total supply to propose that proposal. So what we're trying to do is there is no bottom limit to if you have a proposal, if you're a project. And this is why we have the board taken into place. So we've replaced that minimum requirement with the board, and that way we're not going to price out projects that are new and up and coming. They might be very talented teams, but just because they don't have the capital, it doesn't mean that they should be priced out of the market. So I think that's kind of where that comes in.
Agreed.
I think I can just add more small thing related to the design of a block that I recognize. So he actually built a tokenomics that definitely reward to the community. So you can see from the team allocation is quite small, and the whole rewarding from farming, from airdrop, from other pool, just trying to find a way to deliver the token to the community. Different from other product that they have the big allocation for not only for the team but for even the big whale investor. You can see now the whole community can have the allocation that can be reward from other activity on TomoChain ecosystem. So that is one of the way that the product try to deliver the right to the retail investor. So now the retail investor have the chance to go to the public to buy on LuaSwap without any allocation. Previously, now they are zero to any private or seed investor. Now just the first thing go to the community, go to the public, and that is a very good allocation to the public. And retail investor can buy a token and also contribute to the ecosystem by staking to the master node, and they get the reward for tDAO. on LuaSwap to get more reward for tDAO. So that is how the product deliver to the retail investor, and now they have just only based on their contribution that to the ecosystem. That is how the retail investor have the power now.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just expand on a couple of the points that Nung has made here. So we have designed the tokenomics so we didn't actually do a pre-sale. We didn't do a private sale to big investors. The reason that we didn't do that is we're thinking about how this affects the DAO, right? If we give a private sale to big investors, they will have control over the entire DAO. This is not something we necessarily wanted. We wanted the real community, and not to say that, you know, the private investors aren't people that care significantly about the system, but we just wanted to even the tables out a little bit. And because we haven't done a private sale at a discounted price, we're not expecting the price to fall straight after it's listed as well. There won't be a big sell-off. All right, we are airdropping tokens to individuals, but we're doing that over a vesting schedule as well.
Yeah.
We want to ensure that the tDAO price can grow in a healthy way, and we've done everything within our power to be able to benefit retail investors, give bigger investors a chance as well, but then let the price of tDAO grow organically over the years.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that makes perfect sense. And
Yes.
I think all the comments that we received from our community have made a fair point, and from the proposal requirement and the decentralization and the regulations to be in place for the system. I think and TomoMasterDAO, we also took our own approach to meet those measures that a good DAO system would need to have in some way. I think that's the end for the AMA session today. If you have anything else you want to comment or you want to say to the community.
I think I just say one more thing to the community for participating in the IDO coming next. To add more on how the LuaStarter contribute to the ecosystem, because we have the tier guaranteed, and we have the guaranteed for all the people, and we have the limit for all the, let's say, the whales to buy big amount of the token. So you, like, all the community can feel free now to just try to commit and become, if you have less token, try to be the first person to contribute to participate in the IDO. We have quite a good limit that avoid any big whale to buy a lot of token and sell off later on. So I do think that the system already work well on that, and like make all the retail investor in the safe place.
Great. That was excellent. I just want to say thanks to the community for listening in, asking some great questions.
Thank you for sticking around. And if you had any more questions, you can feel free to reach out to us on Twitter and Telegram. We'll always be there to answer your question and help. Thank you everyone.
Thank you everyone.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.